to mitigate future occurrences. The Chief of Staff to the Governor, Malam Gani Audu, led the delegation to Auchi to sympathize with the affected community and conduct an on-the-spot assessment of the incident. The Director General of the Edo State Fire Service disclosed that Auchi currently has no functional fire station, but assured residents that the situation would soon change. The Commissioner for Public Safety and Security, Honorable Festus Ebia, commiserated with the victims, attributing the incident partly to the poor condition of the Auchi-Okene Expressway linking Jetu Junction.
Start from the road by doing palliative on the road, and a lot of other things that we observe. So now we have first-hand information about what happened, and then we are going to give exact results or report to the governor.
Some of the victims and eyewitnesses narrated their ordeal.
The fire exploded from the gutter. I tried to save my father, which is there. Then, all my back is peeled and burnt.
It's bash with the other Oga will get that attacker. What he be named so? Mosike. Not there. People call John where they feel rescue my house.
Officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, were also at the scene to carry out an assessment. A detailed report on the immediate and remote causes of the incident is expected to be submitted to Governor Monday Okpebholo next week. Kingsley Uchebu, ITV News.
The Mariam Voices Choir of St. Francis Catholic Church in Benin City have joined the list of choristers who pay the Christmas visits to the Esama of Benin. His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Usawari Benedion with him for the season. Pius Nsogo reports that the group gave a good account of themselves as they rendered Christmas carols, while selected dignitaries read the lessons to the delight of the host.
With soul-lifting songs, the Mariam Voices Choir of St. Francis Catholic Church, Benin City, crowed their host, the Esama of Benin, Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Usawari Benedion, who could not resist dancing to the melodious tunes. As the music spread the joy of the season, Mrs. Jane Genevieve Amaroboyi read the first lesson from the book of Isaiah chapter 11, verses 1 to 10, while Mrs. Eunice Ogbebo took the second lesson from Isaiah chapter 9, verses 2 to 7.
On that day, there shall come forth a shoot from the stump chastely, and a branch shall grow out of his roots, and the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him.
A special solo performance by Mrs. Gloria Anani added color and excitement to the event. The third and fourth lessons were read by Mrs. Tessie Egware, Personal Secretary to the Esama of Benin, and the Executive Director, Operations, ITV and Radio, Chief Elder Ubaide Nwonse.
Beloved, the grace of God has appeared for the salvation on all men.
When the time had fully come, God sent forth his Son, born of woman, born under the law, to redeem those who were under the law.
The parish priest of St. Gabriel the Archangel Catholic Church, Benin City, Reverend Father Jerome Idebe, took the fifth and final reading from the Gospel of Luke chapter 2, verses 1 to 14.
For behold, I bring you good news of a great joy, which will come to all the peoples.
As is customary with the Esama of Benin, the evening was fun-filled and provided the august visitors with the opportunity to enjoy the warm and rich hospitality of the House of Benedion. From Benin, Pius Nsogo, ITV News.
A distinguished gathering of top media executives in Edo State on Saturday attended a media luncheon hosted by the vision bearer of the Family Intercessory Ministry, Pastor Mrs. Margaret Agmonifo. The event brought together managing directors, zonal directors, editors-in-chiefs, and other senior media executives from major broadcast stations, online platform, and print media organization. Oluwafemi Farayela, who monitored the event, brings us the details.
In her address, the Vision Bearer of Family Intercessory Ministry, Pastor Mrs. Margaret Agbonifo, highlighted the critical role of ethical journalism in nation building. She urged media leaders to adopt a values-driven approach that aligns with Nigeria's cultural and spiritual heritage.
These people are doing so much, and they need to be encouraged. So it's just a way of, as a mother, to encourage them.
The PFN chairman further unveiled a annual program tagged Mothers Decree 18, scheduled to hold every 2nd of January, and solicited the support of the media for effective coverage of the event.
I want to salute the Chief Doctor Gabriel Osawari. I want to also use this video to inform you of our annual program, which you always help me to do. That is Mothers Decree 18.
In his comments, the managing director of ITV and Radio, Engineer Elvis Obaseki, commended the Vision Bearer of Family Intercessory Ministry, Pastor Mrs. Margaret Agbonifo, for remarkable impacts on the society through the propagation of the gospel. In his remarks, the Zonal Director of NTA Benin Network Center, Mrs. Teni Ajayi, and the Managing Director of Edo Broadcasting Service, Sulaiman Alede, assured the Vision Bearer of their continued partnership and support.
Journalism has taught us that we must pursue truth, and that is another aspect of Christianity.
He who does not align with media now will not have the purpose.
The media executives and other guests were entertained at the event. Among the notable attendees were the Managing Director of Independent Television and Radio, Engineer Elvis Obaseki, the Zonal Director of NTA Benin Network Center, Mrs. Teni Ajayi, the Managing Director of Edo Broadcasting Service, Sulaiman Alede, and the Chairman of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Edo State Council, Comrade Festus Alenke, among others. Oluwafemi Farayola, ITV News.
And in Kaduna State, where there is possibility that many irrigation farmers may not participate in the dry season farming this year following the drastic crash in the prices of food items and perishable goods in the market. NMA's Mohammed reports that many irrigation farmers are groaning as they count their losses after investing heavily in the wet season farming.
Irrigation farming, or dry season farming as it's often called, is said to be a complementary to fill the vacuum created during the wet season. However, the crash in prices of foodstuffs recently has culminated into panicking among dry season farmers for fear of including another round of losses after their experiences in the crops harvested at the wet season farming. Some of them said in Hausa that as prices of farming support items like fertilizer, agrochemicals, among others, continue to soar, the decision by irrigation farmers to abandon cultivation of perishable foods like vegetables may result into their scarcity, thereby multiplying their cost.
Matsalar da muke fuskanta kawai shine na karyewan amfanin gona da shi kanshi kayan gwarin da shanyan namu.
To yanzu shirye-shiryen ma yanda za a shiga noman ranar mu ake tunanin ta ma ina za a fara. Na farko da yanzu duk wanda ya noman damuna ba shi da jarin da zai iya tafiya noman rani.
They requested that to avert such situations, government, to as a matter of urgency, address the problems associated with high cost of fertilizer, among others.
He's trying to make the price of the commodity, the price to be low so that everybody will get it.
Fertilizer come down for them, so they are able to make it. But when the fertilizer high, and the workers they used to do the farm still high for them, it will affect them.
From Kaduna, Umma Mohammed, ITV News.
The Nigerian Customs Service (NCS) has intercepted and seized about 20 diverted transit containers with a total duty paid value at approximately 769 million naira between April and December 2025. The Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adeni Adewale, disclosed this in Kano while presenting the seized items and outlining measures being implemented to curb cargo diversion and other trade-related abuses. Kano correspondent Abdul Ibrahim has more.
According to the Controller General, the seizures underscores the service unwavering commitments to trade facilitation, revenue protection, and national security. He expressed concern that despite government initiatives such as free trade zone and adoption of international best practices, some unscrupulous operators continue to divert transit containers means for other destinations.
The service has aligned with numerous initiatives and endeavors of the federal government to create an enabling environment for legitimate commerce. These initiatives are evidence of our genuine desire to support the federal government's trade facilitation agenda and position Nigeria as a competitive destination within the global trading system.
In another development, the Nigeria Customs Service uncovered long-forgotten seizures of hard drug dating back to 1980s during routine clearance and renovation of an old operational warehouse in Kano. The recovered hard drugs were subsequently handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) for further investigation and proper disposal.
They seized these items. They kept them under lock and key. Now that there is an organization that is supposed to handle these things, they handed over these items to us. On behalf of the Chairman Executive and my Staff Commander, we sincerely appreciate the Controller General for this gesture.
The Controller General warns smugglers and their collaborators that the Nigerian Customs Service has significantly enhanced its operational capacity and deployment of modern technology, stressing that offenders will be detected, investigated, and prosecuted in accordance with the law. He reaffirms the service resolved to sustain aggressive enforcement while assuring that legitimate trade is not hindered. Abdul Ibrahim, ITV News Kano.
And guest on the program Politics Today on Saturday said that the federal government must tackle corruption in the oil and gas industry despite the resignation of the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA), Farouk Ahmed, and also as well as his counterpart in the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC), Gbenga Komolafe. Osemudame Osagi reports that members of the public also contributed to the discussion via telephone calls.
The guest, Professor Tony Ijewere and Yusuf Abubakar, said the unexpected turn of events which necessitated the presidency to announce the resignation of the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, as well as his counterpart at the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Gbenga Komolafe, gives cause for concern. They said both officials who resigned left their positions ahead of the expiration of their tenures next year. The guest said the resignation of the highly placed public officers took place against the backdrop of mounting allegations against the former petroleum regulator Ahmed by renowned industrialist and president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote.
How come that since Dangote is involved, the price of fuel is now gradually coming down? You can just imagine if NNPC had monopolized it.
But NNPC reduced the pump price also by 18 naira.
Yes.
After Dangote's reduction.
You have said it. You have answered the question as well. It's the pressure from Dangote that forced them to do it. Otherwise, independent oil marketers will abandon their product.
But those people will be taken before the commission and let them refund some of those funds before we can really realize what is the actual value of
Who will now refund the funds?
Of course, time does not run against the state in criminal prosecution. Yeah. If anybody is indicted for taking funds for maintenance and they have not so maintained, they should refund the funds.
Members of the public who contributed to the program through telephone expressed concerns over the unpalatable development in the country.
So that is why these people are really making the defense of this nation. God is exposing them one by one. So that the government will have a rethink.
So I think the government should just shut it down or they should privatize it. I think they said they wanted to sell the refineries.
Politics Today is aired on Saturday weekly. From Benin, Osemudame Osagi, ITV News.
That does it for the ITV News for tonight. I am Lawrence Osifo, thanking you for watching. From everyone here, go have a beautiful night rest and a Merry Christmas ahead.
ITV, certainly the best.